So I have pinned the link on the group chat. Let us begin. So this video is going to be a very short one. I hope you can hear me. This video is going to be a very short one, just to welcome us and let us know what this whole program is going to, how it's going to go. It's a grant training program. So in the southeast, I have noticed that the information on grant is very little, and those that have heard about grants, most times they believe it's scam, or it's something that has to do with the government and you have to know someone in power for you to be able to access them. So this is me letting you know that no, there are grants that you can access no matter the level of your business. So there are misconceptions that we would correct in the course of this training. The myth that your business has to be very big for you to be able to access a grant. That's not true. You could even access a grant with an idea. You've not started, you just have an idea that will be powerful, that will really impact life. You can access millions of naira and thousands of dollars in grants with just that idea. Since a lot of us are busy because of the timing of this live, and I would skip the introduction, getting to know each other, getting to know a few of our names, just to feel like a community. We will get to the grants part. What is grants? When we say grants, we are common with loans. It's just like loan, that's money that they give to you, but the difference is that when you are giving a loan, you are expected to pay back the loan, most times with interest. But for grants, so you are giving a grant, you are not expected to pay back. That is why they call it winning a grant. Even though it is not like gamble, that you gambled with some naira and you won money. That's not how it works. But it's still called winning, because when you win something, you're not required to give it back. But to win these grants, there are just a few important details that you have to touch about your business. Or if you don't have a business yet, there are just few things you have to have in mind while setting up your business, and that is it. You start winning grants, and once you start, you don't stop. So this is what this training is about. I will not call it a boot camp because it's going to be a long one. So after the training and during the training, we'll be applying for grants. When we start the one-on-one, your businesses will be used as example to give you those things to put in mind. Like your business will be picked as examples to demonstrate different aspects of grant applications. I hope I've explained grants clearly. I will get to examples of grants that are available right now, and I have won, my friends have won, and people are still winning. For now, let's get to the how-to, the stages that are mostly required when you're applying for grants. The stages are mostly the first application, because as is saying that the first step to winning a grant is applying. Most people feel overwhelmed by the idea that this company or this organization wants to give out 5 million naira and maybe 2 million to the winner, and like 5 million naira to just 4 people. And Ada knows that so many people would like to apply for this grant, and so many people are already applying. This is 5 million naira to 4 persons, and we have over 10,000 people applying for this 5 million. What would make mine stand out? And that idea that I'm competing with a lot of people pulls so many people aside, and they end up never winning grants and giving up on grants even without starting. So the first step to winning is applying. So for the stages of how to apply for grants, the first step would be clicking on that link. And even if you do not want to click on the link, like I would suggest, because of the phishing link, the scam everywhere, most times I do not like to click on links. So what I do is that, let's say for example, MTN is giving out grants, and I am now your coach for this program, and I've given out a link that MTN is giving out grant. This is their link. What I will do if I receive such a link is to go to the MTN website. Because the link I sent is genuine, you would find on the website that there is actually a grant going on. But if it is false, you will not see anything on the website. This is for those of us that cannot identify phishing links by just looking at them. The next stage after clicking on the link, whether on the website or the one I sent to you, the next stage would be researching the organization. That is one very important part of grant application. You research the organization, you research the grant. Why are they even giving out this money? What's the purpose? Who do they want this money to get to? Who do they want this money to help? That is one very important fact that I would elaborate later, that has helped me to win 11 out of 13 grants that I've applied for. Who do they want this money to get to? Very important. The next stage would be to get your documentations, the right documentation that you were asked for, the right ones. So if they say get tax and it's TIN is JTB, get that and upload. Simple. If they say get TIN for your business, get the one for your business, don't get the one for your personal TIN. As simple as that. The next stage is to stay tuned, because I've received grants that initially they sent me email like 3 days ago, and I found the email because I checked. So there's still this possibility that I did not check, and at the end of the day I missed the next stage because I didn't check my email regularly. So when you're applying for grants, your email becomes your friend. It even gets closer, like you check it more often than you actually check WhatsApp. The next stage would be keeping to date, deadlines, because when you're applying for grants, they don't let you spend anything most times. They are paying, even when all of the grants you've applied for, most of them, I think it just one that it was a small grant and we had to pay for our transport or something. But for the rest, they pay for our transport, they feed us properly, they give us stipends, even during the application. This is before winning the grant. So the important, what they require from you is that you keep to deadlines. These are the stages I would say for now, because we are going to do this thing practically. I'm going to actually hire the 3 experts that will be coaching you. We're going to actually hold your hands to apply for this grant. You're not just going to talk and let it die like that. So just be ready. The next we are going to talk about are examples of grants that are available and have been available over the years. Examples are, as I mentioned, my favorite one, because after the Bill Gates Foundation grant, the next one I got was the MTN. Like, it was just like magic. I just saw it, applied for it, and the next thing I've been selected. I was now among, I think they said we were about 10,000 or so. I can't remember the exact figure. Then the next level, I think we were 400, I think we were 1,000. From the 1,000, we go to the 400. From 400 we got to the 250, then we did the pitch, and I think finally we were about 50 that got the funding. So there is MTN grant, of course there is a Tony Elumelu grant that we all know about, that is very competitive because it's covering the whole of Africa. So 1,000 entrepreneurs will be selected from the whole of Africa. There are a lot of them. Right now I have up to about 35 grant links that I've not applied for. So there are a lot of grant opportunities that we can get, that we can apply to and actually get. These ones are just the top minds, the ones I have top of my mind. Then the Anthem project, okay, it has started again, but they are done. They've selected for this year, so that one is no longer on. But there are so many of them that we can apply. I just started the AWEC for women. Then there are a lot. I'm just mentioning very few because of our time. I don't like this video to stretch more than it should. So now let's get to boot camp. What boot camps are? Sometimes they are online boot camps. Boot camp is just like a gathering where you have intense training or intense enlightenment about the program in a whole. That's why at the beginning I said I would have called this a boot camp, but it's not a boot camp because this is going to stretch, and this is one-on-one. This is intense training. This is training and you're applying at the same time. So I can't say that this is a boot camp, or if I say it's a boot camp, then it's a very long one. It's going to be a very long and intense one. we're going to try to do it in a way that, because we are all business people, or most of us are business people, so we would not like it to clash with our business. We still like to have enough sleep. We are going to find convenient time to carry out this training. Okay, the first task, and which is the only task that would be directly linked to me or my business, is the I would explain it on WhatsApp. So I expect everyone that would be doing, that is on this program right now, to get 5 people for this. This is something my business does. Oh, I forgot one grant. So this grant, TFO Canada sponsored this grant, and they gave me this packaging for my dried fish. They paid for my United States FDA. They paid for this. They paid for my NAFDAC. They paid for the designing of my dried fish packaging. They did everything. They did everything for my dried fish, or USL dried fish. So they did all of this, and they actually went ahead to pay for other things like to support this, not just the design and everything. So I do this. This is about creating impact. I would explain why my business is doing this later. This is a contribution package. You know, the normal akawo, Hausas call it adashi, Yoruba call it ajo. So people mark 100 naira a day. I have collection centers, then they go there mark. After marking, then they collect fish at the end of 3 months or at the end of 1 year. So this is what I want us to get 5 slots for. Like, just tell your friends, just see how active it would be. Tell your neighbors, your friends. 5, I just need 5 slots from one person. So as you get 5 slots, I'm not saying get 5 people to make payment right now, no. Just 5 people. I want you to convince 5 persons to join this contribution. That's the only way this whole program is going to be contributing to my business. That's the first and only assignment that you'll be made to do. So this is the only way I would be committed to this training, and I would be committed because I've talked with a lot of you on this program and you are interested already. Some people have already brought out their 5 persons that they would like to participate. So these 5 persons you would also train. So as I'm training you, you are applying for grants, you are getting those 5 slots you got, you would also train. And it's not a lot, it's just 100 naira, just 100 naira that they pay, and at the end of the year they get 51 pieces of dried fish. So it's actually a good offer. 100 naira a day, then at the end of the year they get 51 cutlets of dried fish, quality dried fish, river dried fish. So all I need from you is tell them to, and there is a contribution I would like to refer you to, I would like to tell you about, and if they're interested, they join. Just 5 persons, and after that you would be added to, we would share ourselves into 10 WhatsApp group. So the faster you get 5 persons, you get into the WhatsApp group. Then this is now like a smaller coaching groups, because when you are teaching a large audience, we are about 130 already. So we are teaching though I wanted 110 maximum. So we are teaching a large group, it's just a large group. But in this case now, we now have 10 persons. We are using YouTube because WhatsApp cannot take up all this call. And if I say Google Meet, I'm not sure everybody would be available to use Google Meet. But we are using this so that it will be easier. And we also have it recorded so you can go back to it if you did not attend the training. So that is it for this. Then as I'm coaching you now, when you are now in the smaller groups, you are coaching the 5 slots. Because if I kept this information to myself, before the end of this year, I'm sure each of us would have gotten 2 or 3 grants minimum. But if I didn't share this information and take out my time to do this training that I might not be able to do for a lot of people, I do fish farm training, but because the cost is high, my fish farm training is 75,000 and it's just for 3 weeks. I do this grants training and it's just for 90 minutes and it's 25,000. So I decided to make this training affordable to those that need it, and that's why I chose the 5 slot campaign instead of the 25,000. That's all for that. Then the one-on-one coaching will be when we are on the small WhatsApp group, the WhatsApp group containing just 10 persons each. And after that, you are also teaching the people you brought to do the contribution, you're also teaching them how they can either structure their business or apply for grants, because I'll be teaching you both. If your business is not structured, you can hardly win grants. So at the end of the day, you are just going to be the others that apply for the grant. You know, those 10,000 people that were not selected, the 9,000, all those people, you just end up being those people. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm teaching you grant application, I would also teach you how to structure your business. That is what I said, a few things that you should have in mind when structuring your business. And then we are going to do 7 grants weekly, 7 grants every week. So we are going to apply to 7 grants every week. There are different types. These grants are the ones that would give us good amounts of money. These 7 grants weekly, they're the ones to give us good amounts of money. But there are other opportunity, as long as we are in a group of like-minded people that are out there to just get grants to help our businesses, so that our businesses can create more impact in our community. We are going to get a lot of opportunities, but this one are the ones I'm certain about, the grants from international organizations. And some people were asking that some people collected COVID grants, then now they're asking them to pay. Oh, no, not that type. The COVID grants came through the government, but these are grants of reputable organizations that I think and this MTN keeps coming to mind because it's the closest thing. The Bill Gates Foundation keeps coming to mind because I'm still on the program. Then there is this one that the Netherlands Embassy does, Orange Corners. For that one, you win, I think the prize money was £28,000, but there were like up to 6 people that got prizes. So there's the £28,000, there's the £15,000 until the last. The Netherlands Embassy will not come back to say, or Faith Foundation will not come to say, that money we gave you then that we said this grant to bring it back. No, it doesn't work that way. So let's take out that fear. This is something you applied for, and this organization has, with people judging, have said, oh, this organization is worth giving this money to. They would actually make the impact we want them to make. A friend of mine got the Smidan grant. She was the first runner-up last year. So after Smidan had given them 5 million, 3 million, and 2 million, with 200,000 consolation prize for the other for the first 10 people, for the 7 other persons. They won't come tomorrow to say, Smidan won't come tomorrow to say, oh, pay back that money, we are deducting it from your account. No, that's not how it works. So let's take out that fear. So we've come to the end of today's live video. We'll decide on whether we'll continue on YouTube or if we would move this training to another platform. But for now, we are on YouTube, and if we're going to change, I will let you know on the WhatsApp group. So thank you for listening. Do not let any excuse keep you from optimizing and making the best of this opportunity. See you on the group and in our small coaching platforms on WhatsApp. Thank you. My name is Okeke. So how do I turn off this live?